Торонто-Токио ушел из команды, потому что, я думаю, нам нужна была замена. У нас были внутриигровые разногласия с ним. Нам нужно было освежить команду к этому еще, потому что мы 2 года играли одним составом, и нам нужен был новый человек, свежая кровь, так сказать. Я думаю, все это сложилось вместе, и мы приняли такое решение. Мы искали разных мидеров после того, как кикнули Торонто-Токио, но остановились на Ларле. Все очень легко находили контакты с Ларлом. Нам он очень нравится и в плане мужчины, и в плане игровом, так что я думаю, что у нас очень позитивная динамика.
Team Spirit wrapped up the DPC season in a mediocre 10th place. But post-DPC, they dominated, both at Riyadh and then Dream League just a month later.
На Рияде у нас все это вместе стакнулось, и не было никаких уже проблем игровых, неигровых и так далее. И мы просто хорошо сыграли, и нашего уровня игры было достаточно, чтобы победить. У нас быстрее начал происходить прогресс. Мы начали больше решать каких-то игровых моментов, можно сказать. Я просто люблю побеждать турниры. А так как я играю в Доту предельно хорошо, я играю на хороших турнирах и просто стараюсь побеждать каждый и ненавижу проигрывать.
I think this year for Liquid has been honestly really good. It's been a really good year, but there's like a slight caveat in that we got second place in almost every tournament that we played. But apart from that, I mean, we've been playing well. We've been getting to grand finals in almost every event that we played, all the DPC marriages. So super happy with that.
Liquid again found themselves in the grand finals at Riyadh, but ultimately settled for another second place finish. Reflecting on Zai's journey that began with a 3rd place at his first TI, he's perpetually been on the cusp of greatness and has etched his name as one of the most accomplished players yet to grasp the pinnacle of Dota 2 success.
It's gonna sound a little bit corny, but I think probably one of the best things I learned from Optic was how to deal with like losing. Optic came into Dota with like a ton of money behind them and a ton of like enthusiasm, trying to break into the scene and stuff. And they signed what at the time was meant to be kind of like a stacked squad, you know, we were gonna make waves and stuff in the NA scene. And things like really didn't click for a pretty long time. Losing is like, it's awful, it sucks. And that's just the way it is. Like you have to be able to deal with it as well. Otherwise every group and every team is just gonna implode if you don't have people that can manage like having success and also not having success. These days, I don't feel the pressure to win TI as much as I used to. I mean, obviously, like I'm not considering like, of course, I would really like to win a TI, but I also know that investing all my energy and all my heart into trying to win a TI is like it leads to heartbreak as well. There's been years where I've been really close, and it's just like it's just the worst. But we've also had a really good year. And we've been successful, and we're gonna go play TI, and hopefully we'll win. But I'm also like gotta be proud of what we've accomplished, pretty much no matter what.
Dota Titans LGD Gaming faced a season of upheaval, with Arme, Faith Beyond, and Xingqiu parting ways. With Captain Y and Nothing to Say at the helm, they integrated a fresh roster of young talent. While they secured 6th in the DPC, the absence of top placements at the majors marked a rare deviation from their typical dominance.
关于我们队伍在前3个 major 然后大部分成绩滞留不前这个问题，在于我觉得很大一部分，一个是我们都是比较偏的新的选手，然后队伍的化学反应是需要个过程，并且他们在第1个 major 甚至第2 major 对于他们来说都是头2个那个线下赛。所以我们在打到淘汰赛的时候，依旧的水平还是在保持小组赛的水平，然后并没有得到进步。我认为大的方向应该主要是分为2派嘛，一个是游戏内，一个是每个人的心态上面。然后对于 这是 TI 来说 ，TI 是对于每个职业选手来说1年只有一次的，每个人对他的重视程度也会更高一点。然后，但是再怎么由这个过程慢慢转变到更加平和，然后既把它知道它是很重要的，但它又是依旧是一场很简单的一个系列赛来说，这是需要每个人去把握一个度的，所以这也是很难形容的。回顾整个职业生涯，我可能不太会想回去改变任何现有的结果吧，然后可能会 TS 的时候跟我们那个队伍可能会说更多心理上的建设吧，就是说让大家更好的去面对后面的生活什么的，但是并不会太想去改变什么，是说可能说一些让大家没有一想如愿的结果，然后去让大家有更好的心态去面对一切。
我们怎么组队是因为当时我们3个都没有队伍嘛，然后我们在一起直播看比赛，然后可能路遥 maybe 他就是心血来潮吧，突然想组个队，大家的可能激情更多一点吧，因为大家都没有工资，然后就是单纯的为了成绩，2个没有就是一起组过队的选手嘛，就是天明和楼。就大家也处于一个蜜月期吧，差不多这样子。
Despite forming late in the year, Azure still managed to leave a mark at the Bali Major, but even with their impressive performance, their shortage of DPC points directed their path to TI through the challenging Chinese qualifiers.
这次预选赛，说实话打得挺艰难的，因为我们在训练中对于叉G这个战队的就是训练胜率并不是很高，然后打起来也是有不少的心理压力的。但是可能我们就是比赛经验更丰富点吧，可能临场发挥还有 BP 这些做的比叉G好，就是可能运气也好一点。我们磨合的也很快这个比赛，然后也解决了很多问题，对我们这次 TI 会有个很好的就是调和剂的作用吧，相当于有一点点激动的吧。就虽然打了很多次比赛，打了很多届 TI， 但是我也知道这次 TI 我们能出现很不容易。然后天命比较激动吧，就是他第一次进 TI， 整个职业生涯让我学到的 TS 算是一件吧，就是可能自己当时对这个荣誉啊，还有冠军的，就是那种重视度不是高到必须要拿到它，就是当时还是可能自己是享受这个比赛吧，然后现在就是可能现在很希望当时自己再重视一点吧，就是可能会拿到冠军。
During Tours 1 and 2, Nouns found themselves in 3rd for North America, missing out on the Lima and Berlin majors. But in Tour 3, after besting TSM, they clinched a spot in the Bali Major, only to exit early in the group stage.
At the Bali Major, we just crumbled. We started out really strong with a 3-1 on day 1, and then going into days 2 and 3, we just didn't play as well. Honestly, we weren't as good as a team together. We were just not our best selves.
Shaking off their Bali setback, Nouns faced a new challenge. Without enough DPC points for a direct TI spot, their sights were set on the North American qualifiers.
Once we played against Wildcard, it was a bit more stressful because they were the first real opponent we faced, and it was also, we were playing against our ex-teammate that we had replaced just before. It felt kind of bad to beat them because I still consider Husky a good friend of mine. Once we got to the finals, I feel like we were all just so confident in ourselves at that point. I in particular was very comfortable with what I wanted to play. I was very confident in my teammates to do their job and perform. It's like you hit the point where there's no more time to learn or get better. It's just hope that you're ready and just play.
Omni slash Zhao takes them all down. Triple kill, and Nouns are going to TI.
Once we won, it was a mixed bag, I think. So Gunnar was almost like, I don't want to say shocked, but like I feel like he was just like taking it in for a moment. I think he was relieved because he's been in this situation so many times. These last chance qualifiers, right? Like I think like 3 times in a row or 4 times. So finally winning and like winning a 3-0 like pretty confidently probably felt really validating to him. And I'm glad that he got to feel that way because he's a really good player. I was happy. I was like, wow, I'm here. Like, take a moment and appreciate that, right?
I sort of led to join gaming because I'd only really played in NA teams in the past, and we never really did very well. I kind of wanted to give playing like one last shot to prove myself. I had a lot of doubts about whether or not I was a good player, whether or not I was a choker, or whether or not I had what it takes to play, like, you know, and beat the best players if I could win a tournament, things like that. They asked me and I was like, yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to try to prove myself one more time.
Proving himself one last time paid off. Game & Gladiators dominated, winning every major. Remarkably, they didn't drop a single main stage match all year until Riyadh. Needless to say, they confidently secured their spot for the International.
You build the muscles of playing against the best players, and you sort of shirk some of that fear and that, like, you know, scariness of like the top players. You get rid of that. You feel way more that you can actually win the tournament. I think in past teams, you sort of, you know, try to cope it up and believe that, hey, I'm really good and we have a chance, we can win the tournament. But deep down, you sort of don't believe you can. Playing through the DPC in Europe, deep down, I believe we could. Like, it wasn't like a bit, it wasn't like some, you know, shell I was putting on. It was like, we can actually win the tournament. With every series we won and every like game that we gained confidence, it was like becoming more of a reality. Like, it's not just that we can, it's maybe we will. The day after you've won a tournament, you're just another chump who needs to prove himself. Like, if you lose the next qualifier, you bomb out of the next major, you don't win the next major, suddenly it was a fluke, you're a chump, you're a joke, you know, you're yesterday's lunch. And so I think going into every tournament after Lima, Berlin, Bali, you know, the Dream Leagues, everyone felt like we were fighting for our life, and that we could get eliminated in groups if we weren't careful. That's how it felt for me. I used to get insanely stressed in the past before games. And this year I've managed to quell that to a large degree, because it used to be playing games was just miserable, honestly. Playing officials was not fun at all because I was just like racked with anxiety the entire time, and beforehand it was agony. The years of going through that, I slowly fixed bits and pieces and learned different things about this stuff. And I think a lot of those things helped me to find a much better routine for me this year, to allow me to like be more consistent and not be so, you know, in my own head.
After clinching the title at TI10, Toronto, Tokyo and Team Spirit faced some turbulence, bowing out early in the TI11 playoffs. Seeking a fresh start and another shot at the Aegis, Toronto, Tokyo made his move to Bet Boom.
It was, I think, after TI. I needed to think because my goal is to win TI one more. I want to become a legend player, like maybe Papi is. So that motivates me. When I think what's the biggest chance of the success, it will be if I switch role and go to this team. I was thinking like that I could be good at any role in Dota. The most important part was that I should enjoy this role. That is a lot of stuff on post 5 that I didn't think of. Now, even if I will back on mid or on any other role, I feel like I understand Dota even more. So it helped me a lot. When I look back at these 3 years, what I can say is that I learned so much, not even as a player, but as a teammate, as a human. Players are together for a long time. Really hard to live like this if you are not trying to be a good teammate. They are also the part of success. You cannot ignore them. If you ignore this and like blame your teammate or make him feel uncomfortable, it will affect your results. I'm really proud of this team and I believe we can do it.
before second DPC started, manager approached me and basically asked me, do you want to play? I kind of wanted to play, but it's hard to start from the zero, right? You need to get players, you need to get a slot into DPC. And obviously it was a good chance to come back and teach new players. They don't have experience, so it was like my main goal. We kind of succeeded in the end because we made it to TI, but the results weren't the best.
Consistently placing fourth in each tour meant Virtus.pro missed out on the majors. However, their fortunes turned in the Eastern European qualifiers. Under FNG's inspiring leadership, the team clinched the coveted remaining spot for the international.
Even if you experience, it doesn't mean that you will be a good captain or a good player, a good teammate, and so on. It still takes some time and it still takes some results. You basically need to show your teammates that they have to respect you. At least for me, but maybe for some other people, like Papi, for example. Everybody respects Papi, he doesn't need to prove anything, but I'm other guys, not Papi. I never wanted to be a captain. I'm the most laziest person in the world. I would like to sit at my home, do nothing and get money, live my life. But for some reason, it's always been like that in teams that I played, they want to have a leader. And that's basically what happened in a lot of my teams. Adaptation is a skill that helps you to work on issues that happen right now and do it in one day. Not like, okay, I need whole months basically to fix this issue. No, you have a game tomorrow. You need to fix it right now. This is, I would say, what is like the biggest thing in this team. That's what I hope we will bring into TI.